My gynonc performed my surgery, but prior to it, he warned me the recovery would be long and painful, and he was going to make me very sick with chemo. The chemo regimen was a treatment for high-grade ovarian cancer, which acts and reacts completely different than my low-grade. Low-grade did not typically respond to chemo, but in early 2017, it was my only shot, so I took it.
The 3 surgeries and grueling chemotherapy regimens of carbotaxol that followed my cancer diagnosis were unpleasant, but my hair grew back, the scars across my abdomen faded with time, and the tingling and numbness in my limbs dissipated.
I was so desperate for treatment that I consented to chemotherapy, knowing all the awful side effects, knowing it will probably do nothing to the cancer because chemotherapy is not an effective treatment for low-grade serous ovarian cancer. I was supposed to have 6 infusions. I ended up with 4 out of the 6 because chemotherapy nearly killed me.
Little pain control existed for the surgery, and just as my body was beginning to heal, it was time for frontline chemo infusions of 6 21-day cycles of Taxol and cisplatin intravenously and hyperthermic intraperitoneal chemo.
I nearly needed another blood transfusion. I could not get up from my chair without running out of breath.
My electrolytes were at critical levels from the chemo. This led to hospitalizations and weeks of daily IV infusions for hydration, potassium, and magnesium. These critical levels caused my extremities to draw and was so severe that I had bruising on my joints and tremendous pain. I then lost all independence because it was unsafe for me to spend time alone. I couldn't drive, eat or drink, could barely walk, could not stop vomiting.
I lost all of my hair, my eyelashes. I lost me. It was a terrible time for me. My oncologist recommended that I stop for treatment. As I suspected, low-grade serous carcinoma was not affected at all by that chemo treatments.
I wouldn't even have found out I had ovarian cancer if it hadn't traveled up my umbilicus and out my belly button. After unsuccessful chemo in April and May, all visible cancer was removed by my awesome surgeon in June. Afterward, I heard the term low-grade serous for the first time. As far as I knew, the cancer itself never made me feel sick. I didn't even know it was there. Chemo sucked and surgery recovery was awful, but that was the treatment, not the disease. Everyone wants to hear that I'm fine now, or in the clear, when I won't ever be in the clear. It could come back any day, and it's probably what I'm going to die of.
There is a misconception about cancer treatment and options out there. People think that cancer treatments came a long way. And that's true for a lot of the cancers, for most of the cancers, but not for low-grade serous carcinoma. Currently, most of our options come from breast cancer.
I started taking letrozole immediately after surgery. I had some knee and foot pain within a few weeks, but it was manageable. Then I tripped and broke my ankle 12 weeks to the day after my cancer surgery, which might be unrelated because there was no indication I'd experienced any bone loss yet, but now I wonder if the joint stiffness from the letrozole made me clumsier. After almost 2 years on the letrozole, I developed unbearable joint pain in my hands. Everyday tasks like doing dishes or opening a jar became excruciating, and my job as a writer became miserable. Finally, I received relief from cortisone shots in both of my thumb joints. Fortunately, the pain came back, and successive cortisone shots didn't alleviate it. I tried the other aromatase inhibitors with no improvement, and eventually cleared it with my doctor to stop taking them altogether. It wasn't worth the pain. I continue to feel disabled by it. It's been months since I've stopped taking any hormone blockers, and I've been in occupational therapy and had another pair of cortisone shots, but I'm still having pain. So even though I'm a success story. My treatment worked. I have no visible sign of disease. I'm not currently on any treatment, but I'm suffering every day from the side effects of the treatment I did have, not even from the cancer.
Hi, my name is Connie, and I am from Madison, Wisconsin. and I'm a 1-year LGSOC survivor. I think the treatment that I've had the hardest time with is actually the aromatase inhibitor letrozole. So I've been on that since February of this year, and for the first few months, it was okay. But then I really started to experience some of the side effects, mainly fatigue and joint pain.
Yeah.
And the joint pain has been so much so that I actually look kind of like I'm 85 years old and hobbling around. And at one point, couldn't take my arm to scratch my back or wash my hair in the shower. It was that severe, which I was not expecting at all. From my physicians, I wasn't kind of given the warning, hey, this could be really bad. I was just told to move more. So I think some additional education around the impact of aromatase inhibitors or potential impact on the quality of your life would be really important.
A future with an encouraged early detection test that people don't have to seek out because their sister or mother had ovarian cancer would be great, because I have young cousins who are begging their doctors to do a CA-125 blood test or a vaginal x-ray of sorts, and they are turned down. They are told that insurance will not cover it. You got to wait until you have a symptom. And that's crazy because I had no symptoms.
I would love to see more doctors, just gynecologists, oncologists, more aware and familiar with this disease, and understanding the need for early screening and understanding the impact that it will have on somebody's life, and providing resources for a patient once they are diagnosed, and knowing that it impacts every aspect of your life, especially when most of us are so young. It just has an incredible toll on looking to the future and just not even knowing where to begin. So education for sure, but as far as treatment, definitely something that would not require surgery.
The biggest fear that I have, since being diagnosed and, still living with LGSOC, is we don't have any approved treatments by the FDA. We can get thrown different medications from different cancers, different illnesses at us, but if we don't have a targeted treatment for our type of ovarian cancer, we're gonna all think about premature death. I know myself, paying out of pocket for a breast cancer drug, all because insurance companies don't recognize ovarian cancer treatments for low grade. It's expensive. It's scary to know that. I wish, the FDA, insurance companies, doctors would put more, emphasis on LGSOC to help us.